separate section just for the 4K.
Oh, thank you.
They have some Arrow in here too. Oh, it's like all the different 4K. Okay. Alright, it's the last week of the Criterion Sale. Let's go inside. They have a small section here. I'm back at my local Barnes Noble, and I'm gonna only allow myself one for this last week of the sale, so I have to decide what I want. I think I know what I want, but I don't know if they're gonna have it. To the side. Picked that up last time. Mississippi Masala, I heard, was really good. I'm looking for that Perfect Days, but I don't know if they're gonna have it. I heard this was good too. Nanny. Baba, I keep going back to Mudbound. Peeping Tom, not the 4K though. Polyester. I don't know, do I get the new Risky Business? Do they have the 4K? They do. Oh, I can't decide. Ratcatcher. I heard good things about that as well. Do they have La Bamba? I kind of want it to be a movie I haven't seen before. Alright, I have to make a decision here. Here's the Peeping Tom 4K. Oh, this too. So I found this other area here with more movies. So maybe they'll have what I'm looking for. Here's Bound. Oh yes, they got it. Do they have the 4K? Just the Blu-ray. Oh, they have Burl Durham. That's on my list also. Anatomy of a Fall. Great Escape. That's also on my list. There's the Bound in 4K. Wally. Okay, so now that you've seen all that footage over the last month of the Criterion Sale at Barnes Noble, it's 50% off all titles. This is my final haul. I shot a short at the beginning of the month with my first trip to a Barnes Noble, and I picked up 3 titles, and I ended up picking 4 more. So I organized them by spine number. So let's start with the first one. This is Le Samurai. This is like a crime thriller featuring a French contract killer. He has like samurai tendencies in terms of the way he kills people. It sounded like a really cool movie, and a lot of other people shopping the Criterion Sale recommended this. This is the 4K edition. So spine number 306, Le Samurai. A lot of these are a lot of first watches for me. Some of them were on my list, and some of them were new additions. This one was on my list when it got released, which I think was last year or 2 years ago. Deep Cover, starring Lawrence Fishburne, a cop who is deep undercover and has trouble keeping his identity from a shady drug dealer played by Jeff Goldblum. And there's a lot of cocaine sniffing in this movie. It's directed by the great Bill Duke. If you don't know who Bill Duke is, he's the crazy dude in Predator that's literally shaving, dry shaving. It's such a weird like character thing, but he's literally like shaving without any water or shaving cream, and it's just a razor to the skin, and you can hear the... And this one I did watch. My whole goal for the Criterion Sale was whatever I picked up, I wanted to have that entire month to try and watch all the films, which was like why I didn't want to buy too many. Le Samurai I have not watched. It's on my to watch next, but I did watch Deep Cover and I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's like some really weird edits and cuts in this movie. It's like an iMovie transition where like I thought my disc was broken because in the beginning of the movie the one guy's like smoking a crack pipe or whatever, and it's like still frames. I thought the disc was broken or like it froze, and I was like, oh no, that's just the way the movie is edited and cut. Very interesting choice stylistically. This one was on my list. I don't know how I heard about it, but this movie was such a huge influence to Boys to Men and their whole Motown Philly and like their first couple albums and stuff. But this movie's called Coolie High, and it's 1964 Chicago, which was another reason I picked it up. I'm like, ooh, it's a movie set in Chicago. This group of high school kids who are about to go to college, and it's like a coming-of-age story. Really good performances, really good Motown music. Coolie High, spine number 1165. The next thing I grabbed was spine number 1198. This is the 4K release of Mean Streets, a Martin Scorsese film, and it's a crime drama starring Harvey Keitel and Robert De Niro. I haven't watched it yet. I'm excited to because, man, the 70s for like genre filmmaking had such a hard edge to it. I feel like Scorsese was definitely a pioneer of that. Mean Streets. And then I have here, this is a recent release, spine number 1216. This is Dogfight. I talked about it in my shorts. I did watch it, starring River Phoenix and Lily Taylor. The premise was what sold me. It was a recommendation from, I forget who it was, but they were visiting the Criterion Closet and they talked about how Dogfight was their favorite movie. It says here on the front, it's a love story. And the rules of the dogfight were simple. Everyone puts in $50 and the guy with the ugliest date wins. And I was like, whoa, that's messed up. And it's about a bunch of army boys who are about to get sent off to Vietnam. It's like a portrait of American youth in the 1960s. Man, this was a really genuinely sweet movie. Like the premise is very harsh. Like, oh, that's kind of messed up. River Phoenix, Lily Taylor, outstanding performances. It's kind of like a snapshot of Americana. And I really enjoyed it. Next, I have here spine number 1226, and you saw this in the footage where I was debating whether or not to get the Blu-ray or the 4K, and I actually ordered the 4K. This is Wim Wenders' Perfect Days, and I immediately watched this as soon as I got it in the mail. This is also very much like a movie of moments. There was a couple of other YouTubers and film lovers who talked about this movie and how excited they were that it was going to be in Criterion. It was a Cannes award-winning performance from the main actor. What is his name? Is it on here? Koji Yakusho? Koji Yakusho. Koji Yakusho. Just keep saying it. This movie is about a toilet cleaner. It's hard to describe, but like I could watch this dude clean toilets for like 3 hours because he was so happy doing it. And it's a movie about mindfulness and just sort of being there in the moment, which is something I feel like we take for granted because we're always so tuned in to like our phones and screens, and this guy is like all about taking in leaves rustling and flowers growing, and it's such a sweet movie. The dude goes to work every morning and he plays a different cassette tape, and his song selections are pretty awesome. I feel like there's no real plot, but it's just like, here's this guy who absolutely loves what he's doing, and you just get to peek in on a week of what it's like to clean toilets in Tokyo. But it's more than that. It's a movie about being present, and I truly loved it. This was such a good movie. So, Perfect Days by Wim Wenders. Amazing. Okay, and then lastly, 12/27, this is the 4K edition of Risky Business, which I feel like was a movie I've seen bits and pieces of, but not the whole thing. Obviously, the famous Tom Cruise dancing in his underwear thing, but I have no recollection of seeing the whole thing from beginning to end. So this is actually a rewatch for me because I might have seen it too young and didn't really understand it. Again, it takes place in Chicago suburbs, which I was like, oh, sweet. And it's in the 80s, and it's got a really sweet, like, synth score that I really like. This movie about, it's like a satire, materialism and like consumerism during the Reagan era. I don't know how it'll hold up on a rewatch, but again, I might have been too young to have understood its complexity. So that's Risky Business. And these are all the titles I picked up during the Criterion Sale. I watched 4 out of the 7. So not bad. What did you pick up during the Criterion Sale, if anything? Are you looking forward to the Flash sale in November? Because they just announced that like huge $800 box set that contains like 40 different like essential movies from the Criterion collection. It's a really cool idea, really cool looking big box set. I wish they would re-release that giant art book of all the Criterion covers. I would like to get a copy of that for the collection here. Surprisingly, I had a lot to say about my picks based solely on, reading the box art, what other people have said about these movies. So I'm excited for all of these picks. I'm glad I own them, and they're going to go right there on the shelf. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next.